Hey everybody, happy Monday, Move It Monday, Motivation Monday, just Monday. Grateful, just finished coming from the gym and like I said, I'm a person that moves when the spirit hits me. It's emotional. I'm emotional right now and I'm gonna try to get through this post. But I just wanna let me give a little background. This month will be 18 years since I got kidnapped and carjacked, and for the most part, I've handled it. I've handled it well. I'm grateful to be alive. Grateful that I was able to marry my best friend. Grateful that I was able to have kids and a career, and was a police officer. All that good stuff. So, through all the bad, there's been tremendously good. Thinking back, I just got asked a family member, what was the story? I never heard it from you. If you're okay and you're in a good spot, tell me what happened. And so I put it in an email. And in order for me to go back to that place, to that moment, I have to allow myself to be vulnerable. I have to go back in that moment because I think I buried a lot of the emotions and the feelings and the traumatics that happened. And it's real. Post-traumatic stress disorder is real. Fear is real. Anger is real. All emotions that tie to anything that you've been through are very real. Don't ever let anybody tell you different. So, as I'm writing, or I'm preparing myself to write the what happened to me out, I tell Stackhouse, all this time, 18 years, almost 18 years to the day, it's later on this month, it'll be 18 years, I have never written down what happened to me. Never written it down. I've repeated it several times. Some people know more than others. Other people just hear me drop it like I'm saying I had a bologna sandwich. Hey, I got kidnapped and carjacked, and I brushed past it. And some people are like, whoa, wait a minute. Just back it up. How you going to just say it and let it go? But I've always been, if you heard me talk about it, if you heard me tell the story, I've always been kind of, I went to the store, picked up juice, I always tell it that way. You never hear a whole lot of emotion like when you hear kidnapped, carjacked, and she's telling us like she went to the store and came back and picked up grocery, got gas. That is just the way it works for me. It's been therapeutic, I think, to tell my story. It doesn't trigger anything in me sometimes. Most times it doesn't. I'm good, but I'm very respectful of Stackhouse when I tell my story, simply because I think it takes him back to a place that makes him feel vulnerable. So I'm very respectful of the family members that were with me through this process and was there in the realness and the rawness of it all. So before I'm able to write this email out, I get a message. And the message I get is from one of the other persons that was kidnapped and carjacked along with me. And I'm grateful. Everybody doesn't come out the same way. Everybody doesn't cope the same way. Everybody doesn't heal the same way. And I'm grateful because for the most part, it's changed the way I think. It changes the way I operate. But for the most part, I've been good, grateful, blessed. Blessed beyond measure. I can't even begin to say how blessed I feel, even through my dark days, even through my tough days. I always say I'm blessed. But it doesn't, and it's funny because in the past 18 years, we might have reached out and we've never held a conversation. It's always been through messaging, maybe 2 or 3 times. So for this person to reach out to me again and said, hey, I'm not doing so good. And we exchanged numbers, but we never really acted on it. I always wanted to be cognizant because I was older than they were when it happened. It was 3 of us. They weren't from Myrtle Beach. They weren't from South Carolina. They were visiting. I'll never disclose who, what, how, because I'm very respectful of their situation. And he just said, I'm not doing good. And so I immediately said, call me. He said, I'll give you a call. And I didn't know if he would call, simply because we've exchanged numbers before, and I don't want to be a trigger for someone else. Because keep in mind, this is the only way that we knew each other. If not the kidnapping, carjacking, we would have never met. We would have never known each other. Our worlds would have never collided. So I always want to be respectful and cognizant of that. And so my phone rings a few hours later, and we chit-chat. And I kind of let him talk, and I want to be mindful. I want to be careful, because keep in mind, I've had some training dealing with victims of crime. Heck, I was a victim advocate. I specialize in sex crimes, so I talk to victims of domestic violence, sexual assault, sexual harassment. I've been to training on it, and aside from the training and experiencing it, I care. And so when you care and you're cognizant of caring and the other person's feelings and emotions, sometimes you just got to shut up and listen and let them get out what they need to get out, and not be overly pushy for information or to provide information. That's what I have to be very cognizant of. So I post the post that I post, and I post every day just for someone that may need it. For whatever time, I'm never pushy. I've learned throughout the years that if someone's not ready to receive the information, they're just not ready to receive it. It is what it is. I don't take it personally. But when God put it in my spirit to share, I moved to share it, and it is what it is. If it fall on ears that need it, perfect. That was my goal. If it doesn't, I put it out in the universe the way God saw fit for me to do it. So we chit-chat for a little bit, and I realized that they had a birthday this month. So keep in mind, they were young when this happened, juveniles, because their names couldn't have been posted anywhere because they were underage. And could you imagine having to relive this and try to cope being a teenager? Your birthday, this event happening, you're trying to cope, you're trying to realize, what you're going through, trying to identify emotions, why you feel the way you feel. You don't know why you feel, what am I feeling? It's just a lot of emotions. It's a lot of things that's attached to anybody that's been through anything traumatic. And it's been tough. And so it kind of triggered a lot of memories. And so I sat down and I wrote out the email, and I think the email ended up being about 3 or 4 pages of just telling it like it happened to me, and like I'm telling the story. So I wrote it down, and I sent it to who I needed to send it to, and it just opened me up with a lot of stuff. And I just had to say, God, thank you. For the most part, me getting kidnapped and carjacked did not stagger my growth. If anything, I guess it pushed me subconsciously. I've always been a fighter, and it's a true thing. Some people fight, some people flight. That's a very true statement. Some people, when they freeze and they flight and they run, not because they can't cope, but sometimes they don't know how to cope or what they're trying to cope from. They just don't know, and it's okay in that moment. Now, don't get me wrong. Let me give a disclaimer. I am nobody's psychologist, counselor. I'm just a girl that been through shit. When I tell you that, just believe me when I say I'm just a girl that's been through shit on a lot of levels a lot of people can't even comprehend and imagine. So, and I don't want to breeze past, for anybody that may watch this, because I'll say, hey, if you're able to share it, like it, share it to someone who may need it. But I was kidnapped and carjacked in the driveway of my parents' home, coming home from work. I wasn't know where I wasn't supposed to be. I wasn't doing nothing I wasn't supposed to be doing. I just hung up with Stackhouse. He was away at college. I was back home from college, and I got taken, taped up, put in the backseat of my own car, and taken away. It happened. It's real. It was a Sun News article published about it. I didn't do an interview because I did an interview with the Sun News reporter. It was a black man. And I did it on my grandmother's porch, and It had a picture of me, my mother, and my grandmother on the porch. So I did do an interview, but I didn't do a TV news interview. So Google wasn't as what it was then, because this happened about in 2003. This was before I became a police officer. And it didn't drive me to become a police officer. I'd already had an interview and done, and that was already in motion. Let me just say that. So I don't want anybody saying that's what drove me to become a cop. No, I had already put that ball was already in motion. So just giving a little background. I ain't gonna give all the details, because if I give all the details and specifics, why would you ever buy the book? So just know it happened. It was real, and I wasn't the only one. I was the only. And we got taken by, I think 2, 3 or more black guys, young black guys. And I remember going to my hairstylist, Miss Cassandra, love her to death, hope she's doing well. And she said, I saw on the news, and people, of course, her customers coming in. It was a thing to talk about, because it happened. It was real. It was like Myrtle Beach. Oh God, everybody knows the Dennis and Faye and Rosetta and Char Jones. Everybody know them. The neighborhood, Myrtle Beach, King Street. Everybody knew, if they didn't know me personally, they knew of my people. So it was a talk. And I remember Miss Cassandra saying, I believe those people thought you knew these guys. And I'm like, well, what kind of circles they think I travel in? Well, because I'm black, they black, that means I had to know them. Didn't know them. I just simply didn't know them. And I wouldn't call nobody a friend of mine that would do something as horrible as they did. It was real guns with real bullets. Make no mistake about it, it was not a game. So, I remember people thinking, and the persons that were kidnapped and carjacked along with me, they were not black. So could you imagine, like, even when this day and age, with everything that's going on, and people have preconceived notion about black people, black men, and the Black Lives Matter movement, how somebody can feel a way about blacks, which I think goes hand in hand with how police officers automatically perceive black men to be a threat, and they've done nothing wrong. Hence the reason that black men get shot, and some other people that have knowingly shot people, like an active shooter situation, and they come out alive, and black folks just sitting in their car driving or trying to live and breathe, and they die. But that's a whole nother topic. But could you imagine hearing this stuff on the news and going back and replaying stuff? Because I'm going to tell you now, I felt away. My dad black. I have a black brother. At the time, I didn't have sons, but now I had 2. I really had 3, but one passed away. I felt away about black men. I was scared. I was anxious. I didn't want any in my personal space. I was leery. So I kind of understand to a certain extent. I had to realize, and through conversations and healing, not everybody is the same. But a large part of my fear of black men was saying, are these the guys that took me? Are they coming back? Because they knew where I lived. Hell, that's where they took me from. So if they got there once, they can damn sure get there again. So there's a lot of things that run through your mind, and a lot of thought processes, and it was a lot of fear and frustration and anxiety. And I remember my mom telling me, she says, you are very well within your rights to feel the way you feel. Feel it, but don't stay there. I never missed a day of work from after that kidnapping and carjacking. Never missed a day of work. Never took off a day. I didn't call in and be like, hey, I can't make it in. A chick just got, taken. I'm going to need some time. Nah, the day I got taken, that next day was my regularly scheduled day off. I went back to work that Friday. My coworkers couldn't believe, oh my God, Jill, we heard what happened. We just talked. Everybody was like, this is crazy. It's crazy. And then the guy, when we talked yesterday, he said, when I tell people what happened to me, they don't even believe me. He said, I don't like to be around a lot of people. And I get it, to a certain extent, because oftentimes I'm always alone in my thoughts. But the day it just hit me, and it hit me hard. And because I realized not everybody processes things the same. And I'm very blessed, and I'm very grateful that I came through the way that I came through. Because he was like, oh my God, you got this degrees. He's like, you're a lawyer, right? And I'm like, no, not a lawyer. Just finished up my PhD. He's like, wow. And then this morning, I finished my workout, and I click on my phone, and there's a message. And he says, you're not my inspiration. And to hear somebody that's been through a lot by somebody that look like me tell me I'm their inspiration, and I know the race that I carry every day on my skin haunts him. I was blown away. And it made me emotional, and that's why I'm on here crying now. And in my older age, I realized that I can't be worried about being vulnerable, because God put me in a space for me to share my story and for me to grow and to touch somebody else. But for this young man to tell me I was his inspiration, and I'm not going to go into detail of all the stuff that he's been through, but just know this guy been through a lot of shit, and it's a lot of stuff, and God brought him through. And I know right now he's trying to find the purpose of why he's still here. And I'm going to do my damnness to help this young man know that because he's here, he has purpose. Gosh. Lord. There's strength in vulnerability. Just know that. It is strength in being vulnerable, and it is what it is. And it's funny because I go through days, weeks, months, and I don't think about it. I don't think about what happens to me. I just push forward. I just go through. And I think subconsciously what happened to me is a driver. It was what was driving me. And so I don't know. And it's funny because I can sit here and tell you, oh yeah, I got the PhD. I got my PhD, and it wasn't even with the mindset of saying I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E. I just wanted to be an expert in the field. I just wanted myself to know that God left you here. You weren't supposed to come out. You weren't supposed to come out. If y'all can hear me say this, think about it. How many people that you know that have gotten kidnapped and carjacked and they live to tell about it? I'll wait. How many? How many you know? So I know I got purpose, and I live every day purposely, and so I don't know if my posts, the things that I say, and how they come across. I just know my intent behind it, and people that know me, or they should know me, if you don't let other emotions come in like jealousy, envy, whatever, anger, what have you. Just know through everything that I have, I earned. Oh, know that. Everything that I have, I earned. Not a soul gave me nothing. I passed that police academy 330 pounds of sheer determination. Just know, I got through that night with sheer determination. And I hope this young man come through everything and realize it's much better on the other side and got a cope, So I'm going to be there for him no matter what, and whomever else. So I just wanted to come on and share and say, one of the things that's one of my quotes is I say, behind every title page is a table of contents. Don't judge people. Don't judge them. People struggle every day with demons. Hence, the stuff that DMX went through. And one of the things I loved about him is that he was vulnerable every time he opened his mouth. And there's strength in that. And he didn't mind sharing his love for God. He didn't mind sharing, I'm slipping and I'm falling and I got it. Slipping is one of my favorite songs that he ever done, because it hit me in a spot that was just raw. So he was real every time he spoke. Real in his love of God, real in his beliefs, real in his experiences. It was real. It wasn't, he didn't do it all for likes and entertainment. That was him voicing his life, how he felt in his music. And it's to be cherished. The family of DMX and friends, my condolences, but I'm so grateful he got to share his gifts with the world and help whomever get through whatever they're getting through. And people just need not be judgmental. We all been through shit. I'm not thinking I'm the exception to the rule. My issues and trials and tribulations are no better, no worse than anyone else. But behind every title page is a table of contents, and you don't know what's in those contents. So be mindful, and just know that, you know, everything I've gotten to this point, oh, your girl earned it. Nobody gave me nothing. I put in the work. And I say that because I say that also, me and Stackhouse been together for, it'll be 24 years, I think. And when I tell you, God is, that man there, I ain't gonna never find better. I ain't never gonna look for better than that man there, because it's real, it's genuine, and he's held me up when I couldn't hold myself up. And so I always be grateful and appreciative that the Lord blessed me enough to find that kind of person to help, to hang in there when I'm trying to find me, trying to figure out who I am, you know, going through my emotional roller coasters of anger and everything. Now, don't get me wrong, in my genuine place of who I am, I'm a laughable person, I'm a jokey person. That what you see is what you get. You know, when I post about the issue with the dog and everything that really happened, that was how I felt. And if somebody laughed from it, I'm all for it. That's who I am. But at the root of all, make no mistake about it, people go through shit, and everybody do not make it out the same way. So be mindful. And it was funny. It's funny because Joel Osteen, I heard him say this yesterday. He's one of my many favorite pastors. And he says, you waiting on God to be a bless. You waiting on God to bless you, and God waiting on you to be a blessing. And that touched me in my spirit, because I'm always trying to be someone that somebody can pull something from. I feel like I'm here for a purpose, to say what I have to say, to get somebody out of a dark place, because I've been there and I know what it's like to be down in the dumps, and you let other things fall by the wayside. And that's what I did with my health. So now I'm on track with my health and my wellness, and I'm going to do my body right this time. I had a conversation with my body, my whole body. I said, if you give me one more chance, body, I will not fail you. And that's why I stay committed. That's why I'm at the gym, and that's why I get it 4 or 5 times a day. I bicycle 15 miles 3 or 4 days a week. That's why I'm dedicated. That's why I'm consistent, because I won't do my body wrong, because it's a journey trying to get your mind where it needs to be. It's a journey, and it's tough, and it's not easy. So be a blessing when you can, however you can, and keep the judgmental down. I know sometimes it pops up and people are like, oh, no, they didn't. Behind every title page is a table of contents. That's mine. I ain't got that from nobody else, because I'm a reader, and it just, you know, I got a lot there to come from. But like it, share it, replay it. I'll post it on my page, story, and all that good stuff. So I don't do things necessarily for an audience. That's just my way. We'll say like a virtual diary, if you will, to get some stuff out. Because I'll come back and I'll listen and I'll hear stuff, and it helps me just in general. So I wanted to come on and share that piece of me and just be vulnerable. So I apologize now, because sometimes when people speak, it triggers other things that have happened to them. So I apologize for anybody that have watched this, have seen this, and they're triggered. It's not meant to trigger anything. It's just meant to provide hope and to keep you in the spirit of being grateful. Genuinely grateful. And feeling blessed that if you hear, and I messaged him back, of course, and I told him, remember, as long as there's breath in your body, it's a chance for change, and you're a lot stronger than you give yourself credit for. So to anybody out there that's been through some shit, still going through some shit, or you into some shit, I'm apologize now, because if you know me, you know it's gonna be some cuss words when I talk. So it is what it is. Don't continue watching it if you got those kind of sensitive ears. But if you nosy enough to want to hear what I'm trying to say, then guess what? Accept these cuss words. And I can't think of another word other than saying just shit. Because that's how you sum it up. Some people's shit is big and thicker than others, and some are not. But for people that have been through something, been through some things, going through some things, you are not alone. Everybody goes through something. So take time to validate those feelings, own those feelings, give it the time, give it its due time. But like my mom told me, don't live there. You can visit, but don't live there. Because if you live there, then you can't grow and become more out of it. Don't live there. So it's a lot. And in my more seasoned years is what I call it, you get a lot more vulnerability. And because I'm at a place now where I know that being vulnerable doesn't make me weak. It doesn't make me less than. I'm actually strong. I know I'm strong. Very strong. Strong mind, strong will. Stackhouse will tell you. Strong attitude. He'll tell you it's a lot of strong. But I'm at a place now where I don't feel like I'm less than because I'm sharing and I'm vulnerable. And what you see is real. Every emotion, every feeling, everything that's happening, I feel like I got to capture it in the time that it's happening and not prolong it, because you'll talk yourself out of it. If you think long enough, hard enough, you'll be like, no, I ain't gonna do it. That's too much. I can't. That's too much. And I knew if I sat on this, I wouldn't post. But God put it in my spirit to do that. And so I'm going to do just that. I'm going to listen. Because I'm still here. So I have a testimony. And I gotta play in my purpose. So it's more to come on that situation. Keep watching. Keep growing with me. Keep on. Because I'm here to help. And I'm here to be helped. It's a two-way street. Don't ever think I'm at the position in my life where I think I can't be helped and pushed through and encouraged. I'm here to be encouraging, and I'm here to be encouraged. So I don't think that I'm here, never think for 1 minute I'm trying to play the role of expert. I'm just, like I said earlier, I'm just a girl that's been through some things. But at no point will I ever say that whatever I've come out on top of was given or handed to me. Didn't nobody hand me nothing. I tell everybody, I didn't send in cereal tops and they say, oh, here you go, here's the gun and the badge. No, that was work. That was blood, sweat, and tears and humiliation. Nothing worse than watching people watch you being disgusted by you. And that's the example I'm giving at the police academy. They didn't like fat people. Hell, regular people don't like fat people. And they especially don't like them at the police academy. He told me if it was up to me, you wouldn't be here. That's what the dude said to me. He was a big dude. In my mind, I thought if I catch you in the back alley, we gonna go at it. But not really. But I just said it in my mind because I'm top of the dome. I'm a smart ass. So that was my quick. I was like, dude, we'll do some things. But he was big, burly, muscular guy. Pick up your feet and run. In my mind, I was running because I was out of breath. So in my mind, I was running my ass off. But in his mind and what he could see, I was just trolloping. But neither here nor there. I aced every test every Friday. And I did what needed to be done. I just wasn't physically fit. And I got through it. So I say all of that to say this, that I've been through many trials and tribulations, a lot of disappointments and hurts. Simply because I was trying to be who I was. And I didn't get accepted for who I was. And it is what it is. So I want to come on here, post this, speak my piece, feel the way you feel, however you feel, whatever you've been through, very, very valid for how you feel. But don't live there. Because you can't grow. You can't come out of it if you live in there. If you stay in there, you can't. It becomes part of who you are. And you don't want to be what you've been through. You want to become stronger because of what you've been through, but you don't want to become what you've been through. You don't want to be, that's not who you are. That's not the essence of who you are. You just been through things. It doesn't, that it said failure is something that happens. It's not who you are. That's just something that happened. So, I'm no expert. Let me give my disclaimer. I don't want anybody coming out with she thinks she did. No, I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm none of those things. I'm just a woman that has been through some shit. And God saw fit to bring me through. in the right state of mind, in the hard work and the fight. I'm always in fight mode. I'm not in survival mode because I've survived, but I'm always in fight mode. I'm fighting for better. I'm fighting for more. I'm always fighting for my kids. I'm fighting not to be as my previous generations, first in my family to get a PhD on both sides, mom's side, dad's side. That means something that's monumental. And no, I don't think my kids should follow in my footsteps. That's why they got their own names and their identities. So more on that to come. I just want to go on here, give my piece, say how I felt. Happy Monday. I hope this motivates you. I hope this inspires you. But if nothing else, I hope it gives you hope to continue and be and grow. God love you. God love me. I love you all. Stay encouraged. Happy Monday. If God saw fit for you to wake up today, you be grateful. Every day is not a good day, but every day has its purpose. So take care and peace out.